Suppose you sell a product for 100,000 and the cost of that product is 70,000. Now a business owner wants to know how much profit is being generated and more importantly, what is the gross margin percentage. In this video, I'll show you how to calculate gross profit and gross margin in Excel step by step. We will use a real business example, understand what the percentage means, and also discuss the difference between gross margins and markup because many people confuse these two terms. Let's begin. Here I have a simple business dataset. We have 3 products. For each product, we know the sales revenue and the product cost. You can think of sales revenue as the most important earned from selling the product and cost as the amount spent to purchase or produce that product. In this dataset, first we will calculate the gross profit, and the formula for the gross profit is equal sales amount minus the total cost to produce that product. And after that, I'll hit enter to calculate the gross profit. This means product A generate a gross profit of 30,000. Now drag this formula downward to calculate the gross profit for rest of the products. For product B, the gross profit is 60,000, and for product C, the gross profit is 30,000. Now our gross profit column is complete. At this point, many people stop here, but there is still an important question. Is product B really performing better than the product A? To answer that, we need to calculate the gross margin. Now let's calculate the gross margin percentage in the next column. The formula for the gross margin is equal gross profit divided by the sales amount, and after that I will hit enter, and I have set this cell to calculate it in percentage, so it is calculating this in percentage, that is 30%. Now I will drag it down to calculate the gross margin for rest of the products. So here you can see that we have now calculated the gross margin for all products. But what do these percentage actually means? Let's understand that. Let's focus on product A. Sale for that product is 100,000, whereas the cost was 70,000. The gross profit was calculated as 30,000. This tells us the amount of money remaining after covering the product cost. So gross profit is simply a monetary value. It is expressed in rupees. Now look at the gross margin. We got 30%. This percentage tells us something different. It tells us what percentage of sales remains after paying the product cost. In simple words, for every 100 rupees of sale, Rs30 remains after covering the product cost. This is why gross margin is such an important business metric. It allows us to compare products fairly even when the sales value are different. For example, for the product B that has the gross margin of 40%, the product A has a gross margin of 30%. This means that the product B is generating more profit from every sales rupee than the product A. Even if the sales value are different, the percentage gives us a better measure of efficiency. Now let's discuss one of the most common mistakes that people make. They calculate the gross margin as profit divided by the cost. This actually not the gross margin, this is actually the markup. So we should be very much clear that if we divide the gross profit by the sales amount, then it is gross margin. And if we divide the gross profit with the cost of that product, then it is markup. Let's quickly recap. First, we calculate the gross profit by subtracting the cost from the sales amount, and then we calculate the gross margin by dividing the gross profit by the sales amount. That's it for today. If you found this tutorial helpful, please like the video, subscribe to KnowHow, and press the bell icon for more Excel tutorials. Thanks for watching.